Can you please click? Yeah,
There we go.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So yeah, Turkey.
Mm,
Turkey. Looking pretty cool. Guess what?
yeah.
So obviously the forecast changes day by day because you can't predict the weather because
Mm.
you can't know you can't know the position and momentum of every air molecule in the world. So, but apparently it's going to rain on Saturday and Sunday. Oh,
Yeah, I was just looking at the forecast as well. Yeah, it
interesting.
seems interesting
I,
indeed.
I don't know what time
Not a lot
the
of rain. It's
no,
but
not a lot, but
some
still,
rain.
it's eventful. Might have an ice rink again, like a like a surf. Actually, no, I did hear that the surface has been either resurfaced or it's been modified so that we don't get a race like last year. So they can actually take like turns. I think it's 7, 8, 9, 10. That corner, so they can actually take it flat out and not slip and spin and just spin around it.
If I remember correctly, like wasn't Turkey resurfaced last year? Wasn't it the issue, or wasn't it like a new track? So like,
Yeah, it was a new surface. That's right. And unfortunately, because it was so new and so slippery, there was literally no grip on the surface, from what I recall, which is
mm,
nuts. And apparently, after FP2 and before qualifying that night, they had cars come on and just do burnouts all over the circuit to try and like lay rubber down to add grip. But then
could
it
you imagine
rained.
the could you imagine just like driving past a second, like some random policeman be like, no, 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 come here.
No, no, no.
Take
Come.
take your
You have
Toyota Corolla.
modified car? Come, I have gift for you. Oh, that's cool. All
Okay.
right. Anyway, no. So last year, what happened? Stroll took pole, which is
Yeah.
great. But he's really good in the wet, isn't he?
Well, I don't
He
know.
seems to be. He's yeah. Okay, I know what you mean. But I mean,
Like, look, he hasn't. I guess he hasn't had enough like good performances to like say, oh, he's this type of driver. Like, I think some like his best drives have like made him out to maybe be better than he might actually be, if that makes sense.
oof, big claim. Maybe.
I don't know, like, but like,
Yeah, I don't know.
who
Maybe
knows?
it could be. I don't know. All I do know is that he qualified fourth. I think it was fourth in Monza 2017, his first season, in the like
Mhm.
crazy wet, but then promoted to second because the Red Bulls got demoted. And then he's done some pretty good performances in. Well, he's done some solid performances, right?
Yeah.
And then took pole last year, which is amazing, and loves his job. I remember that. I love my job. It's awesome. And then yeah, it took part. Unfortunately, it was a crap race. I think it was crap
Mhm.
because he pitted for new inters, and then because he pitted for new inters, and he didn't have the same grip as the worn out inters because they became slick tires. What a race! like
Oh, geez.
like how have we had so many good races in the past couple of years?
I
Like
know.
we've come off like 14, 15, 16, which have been all right. Sorry to cut you off again. That have been all right, but it's like, okay, it's Hamilton, explosion in the background, Rosberg. Then we had 17, which was it was good. It was good. Ferrari were almost there. 18 Ferrari were almost there again, but they bobbled it again. Then 19 was just a walk in the park for Mercedes. We thought Valtteri Bottas would do well, but it didn't quite work out. But Hamilton's a go, so it's all right. And then 20, we knew Hamilton was going to win from the second race, right?
Mm,
And now, like, but we started to have these banger races, like even like Germany 2019. Remember
yeah. Like,
that? It's great.
I think I actually coming back to that point, like I think I saw something the other day about how there's a lot of people seem to complain during periods of dominance, but
Yeah,
I think what that person, whoever was saying it, I think whoever the commenter was saying is, I guess the complaining for this period of dominance is somewhat valid because the thing is around the when Seb was winning in the
yeah.
2010 through
10 to 13. Yeah.
2013 period, it wasn't yeah, there was a
Oh, there was
fairly
definitely
good
complaints.
car. There was a fairly dominant car, but at the same time, it wasn't like there was if the like the race result was decided before you even got to the race kind of thing.
Very fair point. I think
Whereas,
specifically, sorry to cut you off. I think specifically 2010 and 2012 seasons.
yeah, like the thing is, like Alonso was doing pretty well up to
Exactly.
a certain point. Like I think I
Yeah.
saw a photo the other day of like Ferrari had like scored like 126 points or something, and out of those 126 points or something, um, Fernando had like 111 of them. So, so like
Oh, was this in 10 or 12? 2010 or
I
2012?
believe this is 12. I want to say it was
Yeah,
12.
look, that sounds right.
And he was also first in the world championship at that point. So like he wasn't like there was
Mm,
this weird like and at that time I believe Seb was still like third or something. So it
mhm.
wasn't like a walk in the park kind of thing. I'm not trying to minimize
It
what
wasn't a
Hamilton done,
landslide
but
like
yeah,
2013
yeah.
or
But the thing is like 2014 and 2015 were like pretty much like decided for everyone.
yeah, pretty much. That's true. It was going to be 14 to 16. It was going to be Mercedes. 17 and 18, we thought, oh, maybe Ferrari, but no.
Yeah.
19, 20, Merc this year, and it's finally like, oh, it could be Red Bull. It could be. It
Exactly.
could be
Who knows?
Verstappen, or it could be Hamilton. And it's really
Mm,
going to, like, they're separated by like 2 points, I think, like coming into Turkey. That's
yeah.
incredible. What? What?
Outstanding.
Finally, but it's good. Hopefully, it continues well on to the future, because this
Yeah.
is exciting, right? And you get great cars next year. It's exciting. Anyway, before we move on to sustainable fuels and predictions,
Mm,
I want to touch on the result of last season, of Turkey last season. So it was Hamilton first. Hamilton won. Yeah, he did win.
yeah.
He won his seventh title, which was how do you win 7 titles? That's incredible. Well done, Schumi and Hamilton. Fantastic. Checo Perez was second, I believe, and then
Mm.
Leclerc bottled it on the last lap, and Vettel overtook him. Although I remember Vettel was actually like defending against Hamilton and doing quite well in that race. Like he felt like he was back in that car. Do you remember
Mm.
that? I felt like that
Honest-
race he was all right.
Honestly, for me, like Turkey is a blur. I can't even remember. I remember quality, but I can't even remember the race. It might have been one of those ones where I've been like, "Oh God damn it," and then just like shut it off like halfway through.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I don't know. I just had some. Look, I saw. What did I do? I watched one of the videos that F1 just put out on the YouTube channel, and like
Mm.
5 feel good moments. I
Oh
think it
yeah,
was like just before, and yeah, okay. I seem to remember everything now. No, but that was cool to see Vettel on the podium.
yeah. Mm.
But for the Ferrari car last year, those numbers, I really hated those numbers. Like the car numbers, the 5 and the 16.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
told you
yeah.
this, haven't I? Oh, I don't know what it was. They just bugged me. Oh, so
Uh,
silly. Anyway, no, but I think Turkey with this year will be pretty cool. I hope it's cool. And if it's raining, it's like, oh my goodness, not again.
yeah, we've had a
Like
like ton of like wet-ish races, I guess.
we've had Belgium, which is a wipeout. Then we had Russia, which was like incredible at the end. Oh
Mm,
my goodness, Russia was an incredible race. Anyway,
that's
it
true.
was
Yeah.
all great. Yeah, we talked about that, but oh, just don't rain too much. I don't want another. I don't want another Spa this year because that
Mm,
would just be awful. But I'm guessing that's probably going to be the last one this year because that's pretty insane conditions, like continuous torrential rain
yeah,
and
I doubt like
in the
anywhere else they're
Ardennes
going.
forest. Like, yeah,
That's true. Like
mm,
anywhere else they're going this season, just like I don't think there should be that much rain.
I don't
Like
think so. Not
Dubai,
not well, not at the end of the season with Qatar,
yeah,
Saudi
you're totally
Arabia,
gonna see rain
and Abu
up
Dhabi.
there.
No, unless they add sprinklers. But
No, they shoot cannons into the sky so
oh
they can
my
create
gosh.
rain.
Yeah. Anyway, no. So I don't know. I don't know about Saudi Arabia. We'll see how that goes. It looks pretty narrow. Qatar, I don't know. Again, I know MotoGP's race there, but I haven't watched
Mm.
any Qatar races, so we'll see how that
I, I
goes.
I saw a video of someone doing like a run on like
A lap of Qatar.
yeah, on some sort of, I think on a setup course or something.
Okay.
It really looks like a lot of like high to medium corners. Like it's pretty much like I saw like what it was for a lot of the corners. It was like just on the throttle, like and you're like okay, I
Okay.
guess. Like,
All right. Well, we'll see what
so,
happens then. Hopefully, it's not too boring because
yeah.
they've F1 signed a contract, I think, for like 10 years at Qatar from 2023.
Mm.
Okay. No, I wouldn't mind going to Qatar one day. I don't know about Dubai and Abu Dhabi. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. Middle. Anyway, let's talk about something else. Sustainable fuels. This is what I want to talk about because this is, up our science and engineering alley. What do you think? Sustainable fuels?
Well, it's good. I guess like that's the only way that F1 can stay relevant in this
I think so too.
in this whole thing. Like otherwise, like why not replace it with something like Formula E? Like
Yeah, well, why not be a fully electric series? I here's the thing, right? I'm torn because I love ICE cars, internal combustion engine cars, and I love technology, and obviously we are both we're scientists and engineers, so climate change is obviously a very real thing that should have been changed a long time ago, but finally we're starting to make some progress. Thank you, Elon Musk and many other people. But anyway, the point is, it's a shame it would be a shame to have to get rid of all ICE cars. So I think sustainable fuel, and again, I don't know how sustainable they actually are because I don't know what emissions they release. Like even with like to change topics, even with like a hydrogen fuel cell, right? That emits water. If it emits water in a gas form, well, that's a frozen, man. I'm frozen. What type of gas? It's greenhouse gas. Water is a greenhouse gas, like carbon dioxide. But I think it doesn't. I think hydrogen doesn't. I think it just produces in liquid form. I don't remember. But yeah, I'd be very interested to see what the waste products are and how these can be manufactured. They can be manufactured with net zero carbon emissions and not just sanctions. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but I definitely think biofuels and sustainable fuels are probably the way to go for motorsport because it's, as far as I'm aware, I don't know any ICE engine that's actually used sustainable fuels. It actually will continue the emotive response that engines produce, right? It's like the visceral feeling of increasing the revolutions per minute and the engine going up and making more and more power and the torque demand that's applying, and it's like it feels incredible, right?
Yeah.
So I think this is definitely the way to go, and I know Porsche is going this way as well with sustainable fuels. So I'd be very interested to see if any other companies do, because I know many car manufacturers are going electric, like Mercedes, Audi, BMW, even their mainstream German brands, Japanese brands, Hyundai, Honda, all going electric, right?
Yeah.
It is good to an extent, but I want to see some more purist cars too. And I think what could probably happen, just a prediction, is that the everyday car could be electric, and the sports cars could be ICE cars with sustainable fuels. And then all service stations that exist might not become redundant. They might just be replaced. Instead of having petroleum or regular petrol, they'll have biofuels that are shipped in. Maybe.
That's true. Yeah.
Like just a thought that I just had, that could be the case.
Yeah, I guess it also kind of reflects on, I guess, the projected increase in fuel costs. So
yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, oil's not infinite, and it's not good for the atmosphere. So enough eventually. But yeah.
Yeah. So I guess it kind of makes sense that but if you really want to use something like that, you got to really pay for it, kind of thing. Going
Yeah,
forward.
totally agree, 100%. Otherwise, like it's like, what do you do?
That's true. Yeah.
Let me have a quick read. So I did pull up this on my phone.
One
No,
of
there's nothing.
the interesting things though is that
Mhm.
so you know how you was talking about how Porsche's looking into this,
Yes.
and Porsche is looking at, well, they claim that they're going to enter in 2025 with VW.
You know what?
They've
The
said this
more,
many times, but
yeah,
apparently this time they
it's
have
actually real
it's actually happening. To I will not believe it until I see a car that's on that racetrack.
with a Porsche, yeah, logo. I agree.
But I guess I think some of the talk around the town is that can have something to do with their interests as well, because
Mhm.
if they're coming into the sport and they're also already looking at sustainable fuels, it kind of makes sense to dump a bunch of money into R&D in a sport to further
Yeah,
that kind of work.
I agree, 100%. It makes perfect sense. So I
Mm.
think it's probably going to happen. Yeah, it makes sense. I just had a read as well, sort of kind of change tactics. So this 100% sustainable drop-in fuel, biofuel, means that it can be used in a standard internal combustion engine without any modifications to the engine itself. If that's actually real, that means that, oh, that's actually really incredible. That means all the old ancient cars, like I'm thinking Mercedes SL Gullwing from like 1950, are still going to be relevant in 100 years' time, 50 years' time, 100 years' time. Because that was my whole mindset of electric cars coming into play, is that because fuel and oil is going to be outlawed and electric cars are going to become mainstream, all those ancient and now modern, like I'm thinking like LaFerrari even, or like in the Enzo Ferrari Enzo, whatever, are they going to just become like art pieces, or are they just going to become of zero value because you can't use them, right? Or like it'd be a very specific case to use them. But if this is true, and if it does work for every single type of engine, which I honestly can't see that working because it's like, mate, 1950s engine. Like it could. I don't understand the full engineering behind internal combustion engines. That's probably more your avenue. But let's say hypothetically that does work. That's incredible. And so we should definitely get on like classic cars now and, and hold them. Like
Enzo is only worth like
the
$3 million or something
W204
right now, right?
C63. Sorry. The
Just
6.2
buy
liter
buy
V8.
a cheap Enzo, put it in a garage. You can use it.
Buy a cheap Enzo.
It's only like who doesn't have a few $1 million in the bank?
Stop. No, no. Oh, I don't know. What's going to be like a class? I'm guessing like early mid 2000s cars, which are just very mechanical. Like I think they're modern still, so they've got modern dynamic chassis, but most of them still have like hydraulic powered steering, probably a manual handbrake, maybe a manual transmission. Like those cars will probably be very valuable in 30, 40 years' time if they're in very good condition and low range on them. So limited number of kilometers or
Yeah.
miles if that's what you want. But yeah, interesting. Maybe just a thought. I don't know. But I don't have the capital to get one of those right now or the space to store it. So let me work on buying a house first. All
One
right.
one
Yeah, tell me.
interesting thing today. Did
Mm,
you see uh the Red Bull Racing hints that are
no,
going around?
no. What happened?
Apparently, it seems to be like a special livery that they're gonna run this for this race.
Really? Why?
Yeah, because I think this was initially supposed to be the Japanese Grand Prix, like so.
I did
Yeah,
notice something. Is it going to be like a white livery?
yeah.
I had a feeling. Yeah, I did notice that because Red Bull Racing, I was looking through Instagram before or was it last? I can't remember what it was. And usually they have like their Red Bull Racing, and they have a navy blue background, and it was changed to white.
Yeah, so like all their social media channels
gone
and
white.
everything are going white. Yeah.
So how are we going to tell them apart from AlphaTauri?
I saw the
What?
video that they've released just now. Like they
Mm.
released it
Okay, I haven't seen it.
like about 40 minutes ago. I sent you a link to it.
Okay, I'll check it.
It looks very much like an AlphaTauri with like
Probably
red, but red, a little bit red, like instead
a
of
little bit
a
more
blue
red
and
instead
white.
of just the Honda logo.
It's an
Okay.
AlphaTauri with the red accents essentially. Like, well,
Oh well, fair enough.
it's an inverted AlphaTauri because it's more white than it is blue.
An inverted AlphaTauri. All right, there you go. Predictions. What do you think is going to happen this weekend?
Well, if let's assume it's a dry quality because that just
Okay,
makes life
dry
easier.
quali, dry race.
Well, like according to the forecast, it should, if anything, it probably would be
Wet
wet
quali,
quali,
dry race.
yeah, dry race. So
Yeah. Well, let's assume both are dry, then we'll assume both are wet. How about
yeah.
that? Just to complicate things.
Well, I think if it was quali, I want
Verstappen
to
or
say
Hamilton on pole? I don't know. I don't know the track that well because last year the track was so bad. And the last time was it 2011? Was the previous time that they went to
so.
Germany, to Turkey? No, I miss Germany, by the way. Anyway, to Turkey. Yeah, I don't know how the modern cars are going to go. This is pretty tricky to call, eh?
Yeah, like I think this will be more likely for Mercedes to be good at. Like,
The high speed corners.
yeah, like I think it's like even though you can't really say it, it's theoretically a Mercedes track, I guess. Like,
Yeah, you can't really say it though because Red Bull have been right up there. Like would you say Red Bull was all right at Sochi? I would say they were pretty good, and that's a full Mercedes track.
that's true. But the thing is, like, I don't think we can take Sochi at face value though, considering how many weird things went on in
All
quality
right,
during the day.
fine,
Like,
because McLaren were great there too.
but the thing is that yeah, so like I think
hmm.
it ultimately comes down to what the conditions are. But like I wouldn't be surprised if at the end of quality Hamilton's on top. Like,
Okay, I'm going to say Hamilton takes pole, Verstappen second, Valtteri third. I think he's going to have we'll see.
yeah, but that being said, considering Valtteri's form recently, I wouldn't discount him out of one of the top two positions.
Ooh, interesting.
I don't know.
Maybe.
He seems to have I don't know.
Yeah, but he lost it in Russia.
That's true. Yeah.
And for the win, I'm going to say Carlos Sainz. Then I'm going to say Latifi second, and I'm going to say Mazepin third. So, I'm calling it now.
I will legitimately eat a box of cards. Like, I don't know.
No. Why me all your shares? Why me all your crypto? No. All good. No, seriously, who I think is going to win? I think it's going. I think I got no idea actually. I don't know. I don't know what to predict. I'm just keen to watch it. I want Ricardo to win again, but we'll see.
Well, the thing is, like, it all depends on like if Red Bull brings any. Like, I don't think they bring upgrades this time.
Do you think that Mercedes and Red Bull are actually upgrading their cars?
I think Mercedes said that they're not anymore. That the last upgrades that they were bringing were the Silverstone upgrades. But I think Red Bull's desperate enough to win this that they probably will still be working on it. Like,
Yeah,
at least
maybe.
from what I've seen, what I've seen, well, at least from what I've seen, I think Red Bull still
Why not?
working on upgrades because they literally have this is theirs to lose at this point. Like
It really is. Yeah, I guess. Wow. Yeah, maybe.
that being said, it seems at least from what I like, at least from what I understand, it seems like the pendulum swung back in the Mercedes like favor in terms of pace, like in terms of the car itself.
I really don't know, to be honest. I think they're just so evenly matched that it's just so hard to call. But
Well, the
I'm,
thing is, like,
yeah,
Mercedes has got like pretty cool tech as well. Like, there was like, I don't know if you saw, like, there's something called a Palladium cooler now. So it's like,
no.
it
What's
allows
that?
them to, like, Red Bull essentially like put in like a notice to the FIA saying like, is this legal? Like, how
Mm.
did,
Well, what is it?
apparently it's essentially it allows them to gain a bit more power through corners. So essentially they can accelerate out of corners faster.
Huh? Engine mode? Uh, uh, the
Apparently,
band.
what's his name? It's James Allison, isn't it? Is that what his
Yeah,
name is?
yeah.
He called it a sexy bulge. So I don't.
Okay,
He's
whatever.
he's
Oh,
called he called
engineering,
his.
engineering is cool, but stop being so vague.
I know he called it the sexy bulge on our Mercedes car or something like that. So
Or is it an aerodynamic surface?
no. It's part like so
It's
because
part of the
he,
ice.
he, yeah, it's part of the ice, but causes like a bulge in the engine cover.
Yeah, kind of like the Aston Martin bulge.
Oh yeah, it's because of the same thing. They both have the same thing because
Okay,
it's part of the engine. So
right. Okay.
that being said, it's weird that like someone took notice that Williams
Mercedes
um and
and
McLaren don't
McLaren.
seem to have that. So maybe it's just
Hmm.
that they're running different packaging. So maybe the packaging's not as tight.
Yeah, maybe.
That's a possibility. So
Could be.
considering like the Aston Martin is pretty much still a Mercedes.
What is it? W10 from 2019. A heavily modified 2019 car. No. Maybe.
Not so much shit for that, but it's not a bad idea.
It
Why
happened.
spend the money?
Forget it.
Yeah.
Whatever. All I know is that Drive to Survive will hopefully be fantastic this year, as it usually is. But yeah. All right. Top three in the race, go, and then we'll end it.
Top three in the race. I want to say, hmm,
All right. While you're thinking, I'll go. First is going to be Hamilton.
hmm.
No, actually, I take it back. Hamilton and Verstappen are going to crash again. First is going to be Bottas. Second's going to be Norris. Third's going to be Checo.
Hmm.
So Bottas,
Okay.
Norris, Checo.
All right. I will say first Hamilton.
Second,
Second, I want to say like science. And then third Verstappen.
interesting. So Sainz going to have a banger of a race. There you go.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, who knows? Like,
Yeah, well, look, honestly, I've got no idea. I'm just
yeah.
looking
Well, the
forward to
thing
it.
is, like, who knows? Like, what if Mercedes decide, oh, let's take engine power this time around because they need
Yeah.
another engine. So
Do they, though? Are you
yeah,
certain?
someone did the maths, and like it seems like they need another engine.
Okay. All right.
So
Fair
like,
enough.
like the thing is, we don't actually know a ton of information on engines. So, but
Yeah,
if they
we don't.
like, the guy was doing like some pretty conservative maths on if these engines were used in like free practice, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
When how many races have they done? And theoretically, if they don't want a repeat of what happened in like what 2014 or whatever at like at the when was the last time
Do you mean Hamilton in Malaysia, 2016?
was it Malaysia?
He had it blew up and there was fire at the back.
Yeah, I think so. And then
Yeah.
his like radio message was like, no,
Yeah, 2016 Malaysia. Yeah, and then
Okay.
that was like the turning point for Rosberg to win.
So like that, I think if they don't want that,
They
they
need to take an
probably
engine.
want to take another engine.
Yeah, fair call.
Yeah,
Just
but that being said, I don't
crash
see
every
them.
race.
Why would you take an engine at this track there? Might as well take it at like Mexico. Like they're generally not generally average at Mexico. So
I don't know, man. I don't know. Don't have an answer. I know Red Bull got very lucky. So last season with Verstappen, last race with Verstappen. Yeah. So I said Bottas, Norris, Perez.
hmm.
I should have. I will see. I don't know. I really got no idea. I don't forget that anyway. All right. Turn it off.